Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Normally, I would be streaming Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, but instead, due to some interesting scheduling conflicts that happened today, I am not streaming today. Obviously, as you know, because I didn't stream, and this will probably go up. I don't know if it'll go up the day of, but maybe tomorrow, as of this recording of May 30th. Anyway, it'll probably just go up today. Anyway, instead of um, instead of streaming that 100% playthrough of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, I wanted to do something a little different. Oops. Let me see if everything's working here. Should be. I hope. We'll find out. But instead, I am playing Session Skate Sim. In fact, I wanted to review it because I never got to. I've always wanted to review this game. I love, obviously I love skateboarding games. I have some videos of Skater XL stuff that I did a while back, a few years ago, probably like 4 years ago now at this point. And obviously I'm doing that thing with Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 before 3 and 4 come out, where I tried 100% every skater before that new remake comes out. So I want to do some stuff for Session, because Session's kind of the one that I actually play on a regular basis. In terms of like hour count, I don't play it like for hours on end, but I've played it since it came out. In terms of like hour count, I think I've played altogether between platforms. I've probably played at least 100 hours, but probably closer to like 110, I guess. 110, 120, somewhere around there. Again, split into 3 different years, like because they released in 2022. I mean, I've probably played early access though also, so that's even like a couple of years even after that. I played in like bite-sized, like 30-minute chunks, just when I'm between different games, bigger games and stuff like that. Like this is kind of the game that I go to kind of do that. So, but I've always wanted to review it. I never really got to. So yeah, I'm gonna review it here. Session Skate Sim, for those who don't know, is a skateboarding simulator. uh, Similar in the same vein of like Skate, I think. When things were getting covered for it, when it was first like revealed, it was penned as a Skate spiritual successor. I'm just gonna make sure this thing is still working. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. I'm scared that it's not working. But yeah, it was kind of deemed like a Skate spiritual successor just because of the realistic nature of it, despite all the TikToks and whatever of Skate being not realistic at all and being insane. But, that's a whole other thing. Not to disparage the fake skateboarding thing. I think it's great. I think some of that stuff is like insane. What some people have figured out with Skate 3 in particular and how they've found ways to just work with the physics that it has and do some crazy, insane clips that they do. It's truly remarkable. But I always liked Skate to try skating realistic. I think that's how I've always played. I do skate in real life. Not very well, very poorly, in fact. I'm not very good, even though doing it for years. But I still find fun in it. I enjoy it a lot. So, to come back and like do something, especially now that I'm a bit older, I could, it's kind of the same thing when I was growing up and skateboarding, where I'd go skate, and then afterwards, like when I'm chilling out, I can go play EA's Skate and kind of continue that, and not that it would like harness any ideas of like, oh, I should try this trick, because there ain't no way I'm doing a tray flip even on flat ground on a consistent basis, or doing a tray flip crooked grind like that even. But there's absolutely no way that's happening in real life. It does like, like it's like the same way of like watching a skate video, I guess. Like it gets you like kind of inspired in a way where you're like, oh, I want to go skate more and stuff like that, just like to get that feeling. Like I don't know if everybody does that, but I like watching skate videos before, or like the day before I go skating, because it gets me kind of like pumped to try things. And and it gets me pumped for just taking part in skateboarding sometimes. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a weird feeling, I guess, but maybe not everybody's that way, but I am that way. I like watching skate videos and stuff like that and seeing what people do, old and new, you know, because I have not seen everything, obviously, but, you know, I like seeing some of the old stuff and trying to keep up with the billions of videos that come out on a daily basis. Anyway, if I were to score session, we'll just start off there because that's what everybody's probably wondering. If I were to score session, I think I personally, after 3 years of playing it for roughly for around 100-ish hours, I guess, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. I do 5-point scale. I like it the most, personally. But yeah, so out of 5, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. We'll start with the problems, I guess, because I think I think those are pretty clear. I think just sometimes the customization stuff isn't very great. You know, if you look here, like in some of like just like how your skater looks, it's just like really boring, you know. And like here, like if you look here with the hooded guy, his hair's like clipping through, so there's just like weird stuff like that where I'm like, well, that looks really goofy, and the amount of stuff that you have, like, to customize your skater isn't really... There's not a whole lot. I mean, they've added stuff throughout the years, but, I mean, when it came out, it was pretty... There wasn't a whole lot. Like, until, I think, recently, they didn't really have a... They have one now. I just noticed it while I was playing the game on PlayStation 5. They just, like, added a hooded... Like, a hoodie that isn't up. For the entire time, this game had it where your hood is up. Like, you could not get it. There wasn't a hoodie with a hoodie with the hood down. When they added, like, baggier hoodies, they did have the hood down for the baggier hoodies. But, like, the regular fit hoodies, I'm going to call them, I guess, they did not have it yet. So they added that pretty recently, I guess. You could tell me if I'm wrong in that. I might be wrong in that. But it definitely wasn't there, like, at launch, which was kind of a bummer. But yeah, anyway, the customizations options, even like just how your skater looks, there's like, I think there's like 2 different looks, and like you could choose male or female or whatever, and they have like 2 different face options or something like that, but it's really not a lot. Like, there's really not a whole lot to make your skater look different or from like another person's, which I guess doesn't really matter because you're not really playing online in this. There's no online or anything like that, which I personally am fine with. Maybe some people are bummed on that. I personally do not care. I'm not playing this game to play online, I guess. But yeah, I think that's one of the big complaints is just the customization just isn't amazing in terms of the skater itself. There are plenty of brands, and they have like a bunch of different skateboards, like shaped skateboards, not just popsicles. They have like egg shapes, and they got, you know, more like fish looking boards, like 80s style boards, like and then the brands too, there's quite a bit, you know. They've added throughout the years. Like they have Zero, which I think I'm riding a Zero board here. They got Thank You, you know, like Tori Pudwill and Daywan's company. Thank You they got Welcome skateboards. They got Heroin. They got Jart. They got Plan B. I think Plan B is in this, if I remember right. They got Spitfire wheels. They got Destructo trucks, and I don't remember what the other. I think they have Thunder trucks now. So yeah, they got like a good selection of brands. S shoes, Adidas shoes, Fallen shoes. So they got like a decent selection of brands that, you know, at least are different vibes for sure. But like that part is pretty good. But in terms of like just like your skater, like how they look, there's like 2 different hairstyles, I think 2 different faces. I think you could choose skin color, but it's pretty limited and all that stuff. So like on that front, it's kind of limited. And then another kind of con, but I don't know if it's a con, but it's definitely one that I think people might cite as a con is that the barrier to entry is pretty high, I would say, mostly because of its control scheme. You know, unlike Skate is, for all intents and purposes, is pretty much a pick up and play game. It's pretty intuitive, right? The flick it system, even compared to like Tony Hawk, which was like kind of what took over until Skate came out, and then Skate kind of took over. And Skate, you know, has that flick it system where it uses one stick to control all of the tricks that you're doing, and then it uses another stick for you to move your character. So like to do an ollie, you'll, on the right stick, you'll just pull it down to bend down like that, and then you'll flick it up, and then your person will do the ollie. And this is kind of an iteration, a more complicated, more simulation iteration of that. So it uses each stick as your legs. Like each stick represents one of your legs. So the left stick is your left foot, the right stick is your right foot. And then to turn, you use the triggers to like lean to turn. And then you use, in terms of like pushing, A is to push with your right leg, and then well, I'm using an Xbox controller, so A is to push with your your right leg, and then X is to push with your left leg. And it gives you the freedom to kind of do that. But like I said, so in comparison, right, I said the ollie for Skate is you pull down on the right stick, and then you flick it up, and you do the ollie. In Session, in this game, and I think also it's kind of similar, maybe a little different in Skater XL, you pulled, I'm using a regular footed skater. That's another con. They only have regular footed skaters right now, but they're just announced like a new update, and they're going to add goofy footed. They're going to allow people to choose goofy footed, which is, you know, great. Anyway, so instead of doing, again, the pull down then flick up, you pull down on the right stick, and when you do an ollie, right, you kind of like drag your front foot up to the nose. That's the best way I could describe it, I guess, to then pop up and level out your board. And you use that, and then you flick up with the left stick. So you bend down using the right stick, and then you flick the left stick up as you let go of the right stick. So the right stick kind of acts as like your popping foot, which is your back foot, as you could see on the skater there. And then the left stick acts as like your flick control. So if you flick it up as you let go of the right stick, you'll do an ollie. If you flick it directly to the left, you'll do a kickflip. If you flick it directly to the left. And if you flick it directly to the right, you'll do a heel flip. If you want to do a shove it, like in real life, you scoop with your back foot. So you'll scoop with the back foot on the right stick, and then you'll flick up, you'll do a shove it. If you want to do a varial kickflip, you'll scoop with the right foot going like a normal pop shove it, and then you do a kickflip, and it'll do a varial kickflip. If you want to do a hard flip, if you want to do a what's it called? A varial heel, you'll do like a front side shove. So you'll scoop it to the right, and then you'll do the heel flip, and you'll do a varial heel. So it's kind of like it becomes more intuitive as you get used to it, but it is pretty daunting to like try to go, okay, I want to, like in the beginning, I even like just trying to launch off this ramp and then like do a varial kickflip was like daunting when you first start it. But even like, oh, I want to do a varial kickflip on top of this and do like into a nose manual is like, I don't even think I got it there even, but like I think the back touched. But even doing stuff like that was like pretty daunting in the beginning, and I think that could really kind of take people out pretty quickly if they're not willing to like learn it. Not to say that like, oh, you're missing out or whatever. If you're not enjoying a video game, I'm very much of like, if you're not enjoying it, just don't play it. There's no reason, even if people are saying it's good, like don't force yourself to play a video game you just don't want to play. I experienced that recently with Expedition 33, where everyone's saying this game is great, and I played like 6 hours of it, and it is definitely great. I see what people are saying, but man, I suck. I just suck at it. It's not me, or sorry, it's not the game. It's me. And if I'm just not having a good time, like I just was so bad, and it just did not. I was not having fun, so I'm just not gonna waste my time with it. So yeah, I mean, like I could say whatever I say about this game, but if I'll say if you're looking for like an alternative to Skate, this is kind of it, but it's also not in that it's not pick up and play, and I think that's kind of a ding against it. But I also think it's kind of to its benefit. It makes it different and more like the act of actually skating. Not that, I can do a kickflip like consistently all the time, but like let's say I wanted to get a clip of something, which we'll get to the replay editor in a second because I really like it. Like let's say I just wanted to get a clip of me doing a kickflip back crook on this little bench. We'll try it. I accidentally did a nollie heel out, which is great, but I didn't want to do that. So you go back, and you just keep on going, and I aimed it poorly. That looked terrible, so I'm going to do it again. And doing this like dance of going back and trying to get the perfect clip of you doing this honestly basic trick that I keep on forgetting I want to kickflip. Pop out. There we go. So we got our trick, right? And that dance, right? That's a pretty simple trick to do in this game, I feel like. I think once you get into I want to do a varial kickflip, like back tail, or I think it ends up being kind of almost like a big spin back tail kind of thing. That was actually not terrible. Anyway, that's not terrible for like second-ish try. Anyway, replay editor. Let me before we go into that, the replay editor stuff. Again, like to me, getting back to it, I think the game like plays great, all in all. Like I think it once you figure it out, if you can outlast the difficulty it is, I think it's harder to go back to games like Skate, just because it like there's like a flow to it that it doesn't seem like it does at first, because it's pretty difficult. But once you get used to it, again, I've gone back to like Skate 2 and Skate 3. It's like this just doesn't feel right. There's something about it that's like off, and it would be sick if they offered dual joystick in like in the new Skate. I think on their like grind thing, I think that was like one of the questions. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that was like one of the questions where they asked if they were gonna have like dual joystick or whatever, and I'm pretty sure it's not. Obviously, that it makes sense that it wouldn't. That's not Skate. That's not why people are playing Skate that everybody's playing Skate to play a realistic video game. So it would be sick though if they did add it, but it kind of goes against like what Skate. I feel like Skate is a specific kind of like in between of realism and doing crazy shit. Tony Hawk's obviously way far past like realism and is an arcade game, right? And this and like Skater XL are these simulator versions of this. So if you're looking to get that simulator thing, you should play this game. If you're not, if you want to play something like Skate, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I would say like if you try to play Skate like realistic, I would say maybe this is a game that you should check out. But again, let's go back to the replay editor. I feel like this is part of the reason why it's also great. So I just did let me see if I could go back to it, because this trick, yeah, right here. So I want to clip that, right? I did that trick. It was great. Look, all right. So again, the replay editor I think is really great. I really like it. Again, like the rest of the game, it's pretty daunting. There's a lot of settings you mess with, and it does take some time to get used to. But I think once you get used to it, I feel like you can make some really good clips. So I'll see what I could do with like a few seconds. I'm going to make a really quick clip just to show you like what you could kind of do, especially like once you learn it. I'm going to change it to a fisheye though, because I want a fisheye. They have different lens settings. If you saw, there was like a wide fisheye. It was like more like HD fisheye, I guess. They have like a straight up 4x3. We're doing a 4x3 with fisheye. So my clip was like, let's say I started here. I'm going to kind of zoom in on the clip specifically. What you can do, those brackets, if you saw on the top, they got closer together. We'll zoom it to just show that clip. And then, yeah, we'll start something here. Let's see how it goes. This is my vision of this, so we'll see. But you see, I'm like trying to just follow. Go a little down. Let's see how it goes like right here. We'll end it right there. All right, let's just see how it looks. This is like very much just very quickly. Okay, the one thing I didn't like, if you saw right here, look. It got a little quick right there. I don't like that. So let's see where... So that's between here and here. So that means it's going too quickly between this clip and this clip. So maybe if I... That's not terrible. Could be worse. Let's just do this. Then you can kind of turn it here. Let's try doing that. Okay, let's see that. That's not bad. But you see what I mean? Like, you get, like, that's a pretty decent looking clip. It's not bad. And that was like 2 seconds. And then I always do the camera shake just to give it a little bit more of a sway. Because not every filmer is can film just completely straight. That's in my eyes. It like, oh, this looks more realistic or whatever. But yeah, let's do that. Great. Yeah. See, like that was fine. Usually I take a little bit more time to like make it look all perfect, and then I don't do anything with whatever footage that I make of it, of course, and it's just fake skateboarding. It doesn't really matter. But I guess I don't know if real skateboarding also matters either. I don't know, whatever, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, I really like the replay editor. Again, like once you learn it, I feel like you could get some really cool clips out of it. You know, and especially with like using I've recently kind of messed with the like Skate 3 editor. I feel like it doesn't really give you as much freedom. I think it's a little finicky. So using something like this, especially like once you get used to it, I think is really cool. You know what? And also Skater XL has a pretty good replay editor too. I just prefer this on a gameplay level. I prefer Session on a gameplay level a lot more, just because it's less floaty, like right out the box. I guess that's the other thing I'll say too, is like you want to play one of these games and you're trying to choose between Session or Skater XL. I'd say like right out of the box, like no mods or anything, I think Session's the better game. I think like the physics just are more realistic, like right out the box, whereas like Skater XL is like super floaty. It's really weird. It's a whole different feel and stuff. It's not bad, but I feel like I felt like I had to use mods to make it feel how I want it to feel. You're like, guy's just like floating. He's just floating in Skater XL, which again, it just looks weird and off. Your guy pops like super high in Skater XL and stuff, and I felt like I had to kind of change that up and mod it to like have like higher gravity basically, or like smaller pop height and stuff like that, which you can mod it. There's like a whole modding community for Skater XL. I'd say I feel like, I don't know if this is the right word, I don't know, but it's like a little bit more like of a vibrant modding community for Skater XL, I would say. I haven't really, I mean, I could be wrong in that. I don't really like follow like mods all too much. I like to just be able to pick up the game, buy the game, and then turn it on and play it. I think that's the ideal thing to do. But there are mods for both, obviously. So yeah, I think those are my most of my thoughts on it, right? To kind of sum it all up, you know, I think, again, I said 4 out of 5 for Session. Skate Sim. This is pre whatever new patches they do in 2025. I do like, I mean, I think gameplay wise, I think if you're able to learn it, if you are patient enough to learn it, I think it's harder to go back to something like a Skate. I think in terms of like the brands they have, I mean, for the most part, it has some good brands. I wish there was, you know, there's obvious big ones that are missing. Like, it'd be great if like you could have like Baker or something, or I don't know, like sci-fi fantasy, or you know, you always wish you could have more. And obviously you could kind of do that stuff with mods. I'm sure people have put in like Baker graphics or quasi graphics or weekend graphics or whatever you want in there in some fashion. Same with like shoes. I'm sure somebody put some Dunks in there, or Vans or whatever. But you have to go through mods. But like right out of the box, I think Session has some solid stuff to choose from in terms of like brands and stuff. I think the replay editor is very cool. I think you can make some really good clips out of it. Again, cons are just, you know, you have to be patient and you have to be willing to learn it. It's pretty daunting at first. Like, you'll be pushing, you're like, my guy's going really slow. Oh, I can't ollie up this like little tiny curb. I have to ollie every curb. Like, that's crazy. You gotta, you know, memorize like where your footing is to do like a switch or a fakey ollie. Once you start skating switch, it's like relearning the game and stuff, and it's interesting. It's cool. I really like it. What else was the other con I said? Oh yeah, just the player customization stuff just isn't, like, the actual player, like the actual character customization stuff is just not that great. And again, I hope they like kind of improve on that with like the updates and stuff. But you know, if they don't, it's fine. Like, it's not like I'm playing online, like I said, and I don't play these games to really play online, so it's not like I have to have my skater like look different or anything, like to differentiate myself with other people playing the game. But it would be nice to like make somebody that, you know, some people play games to make it so then they're in the game, or maybe they want to make something look really goofy, like what they do in Bloodborne or whatever, where they have this guy with a jacked up face and green skin, whatever. And you know, those options are always fun to have if you can have them. But yeah, I guess those are my general thoughts on Session Skate Sim. Check it out if you want. The game, I don't know if it's on sale right now, but it does go on sale like pretty often. So if you are kind of like hesitant on like to buy it, I guess maybe just wait for a sale or something. Also, you don't have to buy it because I said you should buy it or anything like that. Or said that you know, it looks good. Like, obviously make up your mind on that. But I do think it's like worth checking out if you are somebody who, one, like skates and like wants to play a game that like simulates skateboarding. I think this is probably up your alley. If you're somebody who plays Skate, EA Skate, but plays it a little bit more realistically, I think this might be up your alley. But if you're looking for like a direct Skate alternative, I would say maybe think about it, and maybe watch other videos of other people, do more research on it and stuff like that, before you decide to get it, if you do decide to get it. Anyway, that's it for this one. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to, please subscribe. That'd be sick. If you also want to like this video going ahead, that'd be also sick. If you want to comment on anything I got wrong, or, you know, if you want to pick this game up or whatever, you're thinking of picking this game up, if there are any questions you have, maybe I could answer them. You can make fun of me if you want. You can do whatever you want in the comments if you want. Anyway, yeah, go on ahead and comment on there and check out more videos on the channel. Again, I'm gonna probably continue streaming this Tony Hawk Trying to 100% every skater before Tony Hawk 3 and 4 come out on twitch.tv/ I think it's the Michael Ruiz. I'll put a link in the description below, or I think it's linked on the actual like channel too. That's it. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.